Hello, my name is Carlos Torres, and together with Fred Later, we welcome you to the Backline Report, where we tee off on all things golf, covering the latest news and trends and stories from the fairways and beyond. Fred, hi, how are you today?
Hey, Carlos, doing good. We've got a warm up up here. I'm back in Michigan. We've got a warm up. It's been up in the 40s. Actually, it was over 50 today. The 2.5 feet of snow I had in my front yard is now down to about a foot. It's been melting a little bit. So maybe spring will get here one of these days. The Masters, what? It's about 2 months, maybe something like that. No, not really two. About a month and 10 days or so. So we're getting closer, Carlos. Hey, I wanted to open the show tonight talking about a couple things that just happened here the last couple of days. Nine-time Solheim Cup player for the European team, Anna Nordquist, has been appointed as Team Europe's captain for the 2026 Solheim Cup, which will be contested at the Bernardus Golf in the Netherlands. I don't think they've ever been to the Netherlands before. I think this is the first, September 11th through the 13th, 2026. And the other item is this is kind of just a little funny thing. Kai Trump, who is the eldest granddaughter of President Donald Trump, has secured an endorsement deal with Taylor Made Golf, NIL deal. She's a junior in high school. Uh, she's at the Benjamin School in Jupiter, Florida, and has committed to play golf at the University of Miami upon graduation from high school. But Carlos, a big plus for her in this deal is that she has 5.4 million followers on social media. So that's a big plus for TaylorMade.
Well, definitely great catch there. And for Anna Nordquist, very deserving, great Solheim Cup player. I can't wait to see her being the Solheim captain. But at this end, we have some stories that we want to talk about this week. And first of all, Fred, I think that in what could be a pivotal moment for professional golf, Tiger Woods joined the PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan and Player Advisory Council Chairman Adam Scott in, let's call it, a high stakes meeting with Jasir Al Rumayyan, and who's the governor of Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, and President Donald Trump at the White House. This marks the second visit for these key figures in golf's ongoing negotiations with PIF as the sport continues to navigate this fractured landscape between the PGA Tour and LIV Golf. Though, with Tiger now directly involved, he missed the first one, of course, because of he was mourning the death of his mom. But his influence could signal a push forward towards the unification, or at the very least, a clearer vision for golf's future. So while the details of the discussions remain undisclosed, the presence of Trump, who has long supported LIV Golf and hosted several of its events of his courses, adds another layer of intrigue. So, Fred, to me, the questions would be: are we inching closer to a groundbreaking deal, or is this just another round of high-profile polystering? One thing for sure, Fred, when Tiger's in the room, the stakes are as high as ever.
Yeah, I to answer your question, I really think things are progressing now. I really have some hope that something's going to get done. Another quick tidbit too, I learned today, Brooks Koepka contract is going to be up here real shortly. His 3 years is up. We may see him back on the PGA Tour yet this year, possibly. So that's kind of interesting. Also, in the joint statement, Monahan, Woods, and Scott emphasized their commitment. And to quote, "We have initiated a discussion about the reunification of golf. We are committed to moving as quickly as possible. We want the best players in the world playing together more often and are committed to do all we can deliver that outcome for our fans." So they're trying. I really think they're working to get this done. Tiger's at the forefront of this. Adam Scott seems to be really involved. They would like to get something done. And I've told you before, I don't know why the PGA Tour is even negotiating with these guys. To be quite honest with you, I just think their product is dying. I think it's dead on the vine. The Fox deal is not working out for them. They're not getting the numbers that they want to see. It's just not. It's just not working. People aren't interested in live golf on a wide scale. They're more interested in TGL than they are in live golf. Um, Following the meeting, Woods also went to a reception for Black History Month with Trump, And he said that Trump has been directly involved in negotiations of the PTA's tour's insistence, as some believe the Department of Justice under Trump would be more receptive to a PGA Tour PIF deal. They were talking, they were worried about a monopoly before on that. And so there were some people in Congress that were, putting some smoke up and things like that. Um, so, Carlos, to me, if Donald Trump was really involved, you know, um, in golf before he became president the first time, and his presidency was so controversial that the PGA Tour and the PGA dropped tournaments that they had scheduled for his properties. And Donald was very involved with the LPGA Tour, with the PGA Tour, everything about golf. He hosted events at his properties. He played in pro-ams. I mean, he was very involved. And they just cut him off, just boom. They didn't want the controversy. And so they said, no go. So he jumped on Liv when Liv came around.
Um,
What were you going to say?
no, no, go ahead. Go ahead. I thought
Okay.
you had
Uh,
finished the
so
question.
so he jumped in Liv when Liv came around. And I don't think he's a real big fan of that. He wants back with the PGA Tour and the PGA. So number one, the tour and PIF want assurances from the Department of Justice. They're not going to be worried about monopoly and all these kind of things if they do a merger. And so that's one of the reasons for talking to Trump. And Trump, I think, wants to get tournaments back at his properties. So, we just saw the tournament last week, Mexico. Nobody watched that thing. The viewership was under 1 million. Over the past 3 years, I'm sorry, under 2 million. In the last 3 years, the Mexico Open NBC broadcast, they've seen 2.3 million 3 years ago, 1.8 million last year, and 2 million this year. The leaderboard again, bunch of Corn Ferry guys, no real names up there. There was even was a big playoff, and that didn't really get people's attention. So that Mexico event was the old Doral from Miami and started the Miami the Florida swing in golf, and it needs to come back here. That Mexico event, nobody wants to go down there and play. It needs to come back to Florida. It needs to be a signature event at the Blue Monster, and I got to think that that's part of the conversations going on. What do you think about that, Carlos?
I think a few things. One, I don't think I don't agree that the LIV is not some it's not it's something dead in the water. Because otherwise, why are you really negotiating? Or do we do not know something they know, right? But I think it's just the threat of what is coming. Yeah, it's not a lot of people are not watching yet, but it will take. I'm sure that with time it'll start, shrinking the already shrinking ratings for the PGA Tour. And all this story about being fractured and all that, I'm sure the golfers are sick of being talking about it. They just want something to be done. Let's take LIV off of our thoughts. Let's just get this unified tour and not have to think anymore about this distractions that are some players here, will some players leave the PGA Tour to go there. It's just that thing that I just want it to be gone. It's like something that has to happen. I don't want to have that distraction. Let's pull together. Let's have all the best golfers in just one tour and be able to try to grow back what golf was it. But ever since LIV has been around, it's just been declining and declining and declining, and the people are just not getting interested. So I think the golfers are ready to have something done and just let's get it on with. And for Trump, of course, there has to be something that is going to be behind for him. Yeah, maybe he will get all those tour events back. We don't know, but there has to be something on it for him. Also, be part of the. For him, it's also I'm negotiating. I'm the one that made it happen. You know how Trump is. He's want to go and be able to be saying, I was part of it because of me. They were able to do these things. So I think it's time. We're sick of having to talk about one tour and the other, this battle going back and forth. I just wish this would be over. Let's get it done. And again, we're open to help you guys. Just give us a call.
We got the plan for you, not a problem at all. We can scratch it together real quick. Hey,
Mhm.
Carlos, to talk about your points there real quick before we get off this subject. Number one, people are just fed up. They want to see the players back. They want Kepka. They want DeChambeau. They want these guys back to where they can see them competing against the best players in the United States. And the second thing is people are really this greed, this money thing has just really turned people off, I think. It's just
Mhm.
it's over the top. Yes, the PJ Tour players are making a lot more money because of Live, like a 30% bump, a 30% raise last year, basically. But less players are going to be able to be at the table because they're cutting the fields, they're cutting the exemption numbers. So that's something right there. And something I heard today too, Carlos, I want to mention real quick. I forgot about earlier, but I don't know if you saw it, but Gary Woodland was did a press conference and talking about his cancer and his brain tumor, and he said that the outpouring of support and guys on tour reaching out to him, not only the players but the caddies and the PJ Tour staff reaching out to him on a constant basis. He really was moved by that, and he said, it really is a family out here. So, we see these guys bickering, we see them competing to win the tournaments, but it really is a family. They're a very close knit bunch out there. They travel together. It's like a circus when they come into town. And so they're all together pretty much on a regular basis, and they do develop friendships and care and worry about each other. See, and he said, Tiger reached out several times. Justin Thomas texts him almost daily, and so the PGA Tour is going through a rough patch for sure. This LIV has created a lot of issues, but they're going to get through it, Carlos. They're going to come out stronger on the other end. I'm pretty sure of it. Everything's going to work out.
It will, and it's just a matter of when. It's not going to be an if. It's when it's going to happen, and I think everybody wishes it would be sooner rather than later. But one thing that is booming is golf travel, and it's not a coincidence. It's a direct reflection of the growing economic confidence, and with that inflation concerns easing and discretionary spending on the rise. Golfers are just packing bags and heading back to premier destinations worldwide. From Scotland's legendary links to high-end resorts in Florida, Arizona, the Caribbean, tee sheets are filling up, and golf tourism is really, really surging. So, luxury golf resorts are seeing record bookings, while bucket list courses report extended wait list. Airlines are even noting an uptick in golf bag check-ins. When I had to go to my office in Florida, I saw a couple of golf bag check-ins there. So definitely that is a strong indicator that players are prioritizing destination golf. Industry analysts are also pointing to a combination of factors fueling this trend, which one of them would be the post-pandemic appetite for travel. It's back on, definitely, and the strong stock market performance and an overall sense of financial stability among high income earners. So, Fred, I think that with major golf resorts and tour operators reporting strong demand well into 2025, it's clear that the golf travel boom isn't just a temporary uptick. I believe it's a full fledged resurgence. So, where's your next golf getaway?
Well, I don't currently have one planned. I've got a couple things on the back burner. Maybe we'll see what happens. But I did a lot of traveling at the end of last year, and I got really sick after the third one. When I got home, so I've kind of put my travel on the back burner a little bit. I did spend a month in Florida, as you know, and I played several times down there when I was down there. So, um, but Carlos, I can tell you from my personal experience that when I go places, I will contact a resort and ask them if they want us to come in and look at their facility, play their golf course, and then do some writing about it in our magazines and things like that. And I have to tell you, I mean, every once in a while now, I'm getting say, we'd love to have you, but we're filled up. I went on a trip up to Boyne last summer in August. We were there for 3 days, and the marketing guy there really wanted us to stay at the inn at Bay Harbor, and that thing was full. And so the rooms there are $300 to $600 a night. Okay, And what you're seeing now is the cost of golf is at resorts, especially, is up tremendously. Where you used to be able to go on a golf trip for 100 or 130 bucks a day for 18 holes and a room and possibly a breakfast, okay, included in that. Now you it's hard to get by for 200 to $300 a day, and that's at a low level resort. That's not at one of the good places. If you want to go to one of the bigger names like a Piners or something, you're talking. I mean, you can be talking $1,000 a day. If you stay at the Inn at Bay Harbor up here in Petoskey, and you play the Bay Harbor Golf Course, that's over $1,000 a day ticket for the room and golf. That's no food. Okay, your food and your booze are on top of that if you want some. So it's not cheap to travel and play golf anymore. As the last 2 years I've been to Scotland, I've been to Ireland, and the trip that I took, if you had to pay full price for that, those trips would have been anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000. And so it's not cheap. And the numbers are showing that the high budget travelers, those spending $10,000 or more annually, take an average of 6 trips. They split between golf specific and general travel. Typically, these golfers range from age 55 up, which I fit that bill, I'm afraid. So there are guys that are out there, and every place I go, I mean, tee sheets are full. Talking to my vendors, my clients that we work with, they're seeing record numbers coming through. Their hotels are filled. They're buying beer, they're buying food, they're gambling at the casinos. They're spending a lot of money. And so I don't know if this is a trend, if we can look at this and say, well, the economy is going to keep going. I don't know. I'm confident about saying that. But right now, golf travel is at an all-time high. I've been involved in golf for over 50 years, Carlos, and I've never seen anything like this at the grassroots level. Tee sheets are full. People are traveling. Local people are playing. Local golf courses are full. There's being more money being spent on renovation, upgrading irrigation systems, new clubhouses, buying new carts, new equipment, new mowers. I've never seen it like this in my life. Every golf course you go to, you see something new sitting there, and they've never had money like this in the past to do that.
Fred, when COVID hit, I remember that we started to talk when people were returning, they were returning bunches, and there was this hunger for playing golf. And before, even then, I remember we talking about the trend of growing and people starting to go to the courses. So I think it was just something that got interrupted by COVID, and then people not wanting to go travel. But now that everything is just like in the back burner for everybody and just traveling just like before, or even in bigger numbers, then we continue to see the trend. And I don't see this stopping anytime soon. For it. To me, like I said, every time I take a business trip, I see more and more golf packs being checked in. So definitely, I always say, "Oh, look, there's another one." So definitely, I do think it's an uptick right now. It's a trend on the up, and you know where you can go. You can go also to the Open Championship. You know why? The demand for Open Championship tickets has reached unprecedented levels. This proves it once again why golf's oldest major is one of the most coveted sporting events in the world. The fans are scrambling for the chance to witness history, with ticket requests shattering previous records and selling out faster than ever. This just ties into that type of I'm gonna go play, I'm gonna go see some tournaments. I see this surge in demand highlighting the continued global appeal of links golf and the open stability to draw spectators from all corners of the world. Whether you would say is the allure for iconic courses, maybe the unpredictable nature of the championship, or the potential to seeing today's top players battle the elements, because that's what they're going to do. It's going to rain. It's not a if, it's when it's going to rain. So one thing is clear, fans can't get enough of the Open, and with secondary market prices skyrocketing and hospitality packages disappearing quickly, Fred, the question now is just how high the demand can go, and does this mean for the future of ticketing I mean, what does this mean for the future of ticketing in major championship golf?
Well, we just, not that long ago, the Waste Management was held in Arizona, and that always has the largest crowds of any golf tournament ever. I think they reached what, 700,000 this year, something like that. But they've sold 280,000 tickets to the Open Championship at Port Rush. That's 6 months from now, and these babies are sold out. I mean, the only way you get a ticket is if you buy it from a scalper or buy it on secondary market someplace. So, I mean, that's amazing. And we're talking Ireland here. You got to take a plane to get over there or a boat. You're not going to drive there. And it's you got to stay someplace. You got to eat while you're there. That's going to be an expensive trip. And the tickets started at 350 pounds sterling just for practice rounds, and then you're getting 925, almost £1,000 for first round access to the pavilions and things like that. So it's unbelievable, and people are going to spend money up there around up there. So it's going to be a huge boost to the economy up there. Not and this is not and guys will probably play some golf while they're there, probably work around and have a 3 or 4 day golf trip while they're there. So other courses are going to benefit. So this ties right in with what we were talking about earlier with golf travel. This is golf travel. Guys may not be paying, but they're going to go see the Open Championship at Royal Port Rush.
Yeah, are you going or you're staying here?
No, no. I was invited to come to Northern Ireland this year, and Carlos, I declined. I hate to admit it, but I'm getting at the age where I just can't do it anymore. I can't go and play golf for 10 days, do that travel. The last couple times I've gone, I've come home, I've been so exhausted, I've gotten sick, and it's just I gotta cut back, man. If
Yeah,
I go back to Ireland, which I would love to go back to Ireland,
the
um,
sacrifice is it's getting
I
tough.
I know, I know. If
Yeah.
I would like to go back to Ireland, but if I go, my schedule's gonna be I'm gonna play one day, take a day off, see some of the countryside, see some of the towns, whatever, play another day, maybe. Maybe in 7 or 8 days, maybe play 3 rounds, but scatter them out. I'm not gonna play back to back like I've been doing.
No, it's okay. At least I know you know how to invest your time, and
Yes.
you do good investments, not like Callaway, because
Yeah,
Callaway's
Callaway.
been.
Let's talk about Callaway.
Let's talk about them. That was an ambitious bet on Top Golf, and to me, he's looking more like a shank drive into the rough right now than a good investment. So,
I
uh,
think they're out of bounds, actually. I think they're OB.
yeah, that I tried to make it a little less impacting,
There's
but
no way to put a pretty picture on this thing.
no, there's not. And they're now actively trying to unload its majority stake in the entertainment-driven golf brand Callaway, now operating under the Top Golf Callaway brand's umbrella. They have hit a new low in its stock price. So this raises a critical question. Was Topgolf ever a good investment for that equipment giant? You know, when Callaway first took the full control of Topgolf, that was 2021, which is right off out of the COVID, starting to get out of it, right? Maybe they thought, oh, if I take them now, when people start coming back, it seemed like a game changer. Maybe aligning the brand with a more casual experience, driven golf audience. But while Topgolf has grown in popularity, the profitability, and the long-term sustainability have come into question, especially since the merger of the brand. So there's high operating costs, rising interest rates, and a shift in consumer spending definitely have made it very hard for Callaway to capitalize on that investment. So now, as Callaway looks for an exit strategy, investors are left wondering whether this experiment in merging equipment sales with entertainment was a strategic mishap. Was the vision flawed, or did economic conditions simply outpace expectations? Fred, one thing is certain: golf's business landscape is evolving, and not every risk is paying off.
Yeah, but you look at other manufacturers and golf ball companies; they're making record profits. Okay, I mean they're doing well, especially in the fourth quarter where you got Christmas, back there. Top Golf is just a drag on Callaway. Callaway's making money in their equipment business. in their golf ball business. Their golf ball is very good, actually. I've played it several times. I like their golf ball. And the equipment that I've hit, the irons that I've hit, they're very good. I've never hit too many drivers or woods of Callaway, but their irons are, I really like them. So they have really good equipment and it's making money, but the Top Golf is just dragging it down. The fourth quarter 2024 financial report was not very pretty. Showed a 3% revenue increase from last year, largely driven by the golf equipment side. But the company reported a whopping 1.45 billion, Carlos, not million, billion impairment charge, which made its operating loss at 1.46 billion. Uh, that's not good. You start losing $1 billion a quarter, you're not going to be around too much longer. So, and they, like you said, they do want to sell Top Golf, but who wants to buy it? Nobody's going to buy that. And like you said, the cost of putting those facilities up is just astronomical. The cost of maintaining them is very high. You got to sell a lot of beer and sandwiches to cover the cost of what a Top Golf facility cost to even start one up. So the stock is currently under $7 a share. Morgan Stanley slashed Callaway's price target down to $6. They're not very bullish on it. If you're holding Callaway stock, you're going to be holding it till it goes down, or you're going to just get the hell out and take what you can get right now. It looks like to me. I mean, it's been a steep decline this whole year, Carlos. It's too bad we're taping this on Wednesday, and Acushnet, which is Titleist, the Acushnet, the company that owns Titleist, their report is out tomorrow, and I'm curious to see what they say. They're expected to show moderate growth, is what the prediction is for them. So the golf business side is good. Top Golf, not so much for Callaway. If you own Callaway stock, you want to talk to your guy or figure out what you want to do, but you may be using it in the toilet, maybe. I don't know.
Definitely. It's just it should have never happened. I don't see how you can mix one thing and the other. Maybe they thought because I've gone to Top Golf and I've seen, the Callaway golf clubs there that they're just for you. So maybe they said like, hey, this is a way for me
But
to
they're crap. They're absolute crap. I
uh,
know they got every hacker in the world and they're beating them up, so they don't want to put anything too good in there. But if I'm in there, if I go to Callaway and I'm a new golfer and I'm looking to buy stuff, they're not turning me on about going and buying Callaway because their stuff there is just crappy.
yeah, they're not checking what model is this. Did I hit it well or not? They're just swinging and hacking at it. There's not going to be any really interest in what am I using. Let me just use this thing right now because that's what they do. I mean, there's some that are some more serious players that go there and just to have fun. It's not to really have. They don't bring their own clubs to do anything there. So I just think it was the worst idea in the world right now. But
Two
anyway,
things, two things. One that when I've gone, it really bothers me. The waiters or the waitresses just push the food and beer. I mean, they're back in your face like every 2 minutes.
right.
Leave me alone. I'm hitting a couple balls here. I got a sandwich. I got a beer. I just, let me eat. But man, they're there all the time. What can I get? What can I get for you? And the second thing is it's very expensive.
Hmm.
And then another thing is that I we sat around a bunch of golf media guys were together about 5 years ago, and we were talking about Top Golf, and we said the consensus of the group is just not sustainable. People are going to go, they're going to check it out, and they're not going to go back. The only reason you're going to go there if you're going for a family outing, a corporate outing, a reunion, or some kind of event that you may go to, but
Right.
you're not going to go and just take your family for a night out. It's too expensive, and it's when I was there one time, there was a family beside me, a father, a couple of young boys, a daughter, and the wife. The the father and the one young boy were hitting balls. Everybody else was on their phones
Hmm.
or tablets. They weren't. So it's not a sustainable model. And I can't believe the smart guys that Eli Callaway had around him. I can't believe that he jumped in on this thing.
Hmm. Well, lesson learned. But anyway, Any final words before we close?
No, I just want to mention, I haven't mentioned it lately. We do send out Ohio, Michigan, Indiana, and American golf journals. American is every quarter. We'll be sending out the April issue here in about a month. Ohio, Indiana, and Michigan, the March issues will be coming out over the next week or 10 days. And I hope people will go. And I have to say, you can't go to the website right now because they're down. I got hit by malware and the websites are down right the minute, so I apologize for that. But you can find them if you want them. If not, get a hold of me and I can give you the link to view the issues.
All right. Well, we'll let you know, everybody, when that is back on, and right down there, we'll put it in the description and all that. So if you like this one, hey, smash that like button, and always remember to subscribe for more content, news, and updates. Thank you for joining us.